United team shows two changes to the side that started the last match against Watford. One enforced, Junior Firpo out suspended, so Sam Byram comes in, and the other a change that Leeds probably would have preferred not to make, with Ramazani injured, but a very able replacement in the shape of Dan James coming into the starting 11. Bristol City suffering with suspensions as well. Midfielder Jordan Williams, who's been involved in every game, is missing for them, having also hit 5 yellows so far this season. Now, before the game starts, we have got a couple of things that the players will be involved with, and that includes the wreath laying. It's the opportunity, the earliest opportunity I can remember, but Bristol City are using today as their Poppy Day ceremony pre-match, so the players are lined up on the edge of the centre circle for that. I believe there also will be a minute's applause in memory of Liam Manning, Bristol City's head coach, whose very young son very sadly died very recently, so he is currently on compassionate leave.
Bristol City and Leeds United. Can we now ask all true football fans if you are able to be upstanding in silence for the ode of remembrance, which will be followed by the last post played by Newton Peters. After the last post, we'll observe a period of silence and reflection as a mark of respect to the service personnel who have given the ultimate sacrifice for others, which will end on the referee's whistle. Now, the ode of remembrance, read by Brigadier Neville Holmes.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
Stadium, please join together as we send our love and condolences to our head coach, Liam Manning, Fran and Isaac, in memory of Theo John Manning.
So applause rings around Ashton Gate, and a big banner is raised above the heads of the Bristol City fans on the far side of the ground. In fact, all around the ground, it says "Fly high, Theo John Manning, you'll always be City." So the Bristol City fans have made a very, very fitting and emotional tribute to the man who is absent, who would normally be on the touchline for them today. And in his absence, Chris Hogg takes charge of the team for this game this Saturday lunchtime. Leeds United, all in yellow, go into the huddle in the half to our left. Bristol City to our right, and the big noise around the ground. These home supporters have not seen their side lose here yet this season. 5 games in, 5 home games in. So Leeds United will be looking to try and become the first of this championship campaign. And like Leeds, Bristol City are 6 unbeaten as well. Gnonto smashed off the ball on the halfway line. Referee says play on, and suddenly there's a break down the right-hand side, and a ball into the middle is a good ball as well. And it just evaded the outstretched leg of Max Bird right in the middle of the goal. And then there's a foul for a late challenge on Dan James. But that was a menacing move down the right from Bristol City, and a good ball into the middle.
It certainly was, and Max Bird running through that middle, almost got on the end of it. Interesting, Bristol City didn't close us down nice and high early, but once it got to a certain point in the pitch, they were certainly flying in, won the ball back, and caused us a problem.
Meslier with the ball out the box. Gets it back again. Rodon. Bogle. Rodon and Bogle are on 4 yellow cards each, I'll remind you, so they are 1 more booking away from following Junior Firpo into a suspension. Aaronson for Leeds. Holds off the challenge. Stuck on the near side touchline. Ball bounces off one heel and onto the other. Bristol City take possession of it and clear along out from the back. And Vyner. And the ball bounces once, twice in front of Hirakawa, who is the Japanese player in the Bristol City side. And it goes out, play for a Leeds throw in.
Yes, Aaronson just trying to win that free kick down this near touchline. Not quite. Bristol City actually defended it rather well. Didn't give a foul away and won the ball back. Scrappy, though.
Piroe chests it back into Gnonto. He loses the ball in his own half. It goes back into Bristol City territory. James comes in and does well to win the ball, diverts it to Rothwell. Now Rodon. Struijk out from the back to Gnonto, laid into the path of Aaronson. Nice play between the Leeds players. Aaronson does well to keep it moving with Byram, and then back to Aaronson, and then Byram back into his own half to Struijk. Now Rodon plays it out wide, right side. Bit of space perhaps for Dan James to run. Plays on to Gnonto ahead of him. Tries the early ball into the middle. It's blocked. It comes out for Bogle on the touchline. Bogle tries to take his man on. Great ball from James. Now Bogle tries to return the pass to Gnonto. Given away. The triangle didn't have its final part in there. And Leeds are chasing to try and get the ball back again off Bristol City, who have it just outside their own penalty area. The captain, Jason Knight, into the midfield it goes, and then quickly played into the path of Hirakawa, who's through the middle here before Byram steps in to close the door, and then Struijk shepherds the ball back into the hands of the goalkeeper, and Sam Byram gets applause because he read that situation really well.
Certainly did. Hirakawa was through the middle, but Byram covering well, snuffed it out, did enough. Eventually gets back to the keeper, but just got to be careful when we do push up near that halfway line. The runners from Bristol City certainly keen to get in behind us and through us.
Long ball, looped header back onto the Leeds half and Rothwell. His pass is too far ahead of any of his teammates, and so it's cleared forward by the keeper, Max O'Leary. Rodon with a header. And then it goes up in the air again, and Bogle's underneath this with his looping header forward, and then another header returned in his direction by McNally. And then it goes out to play for a Leeds United throw-in. Leeds have won on their last couple of visits to Ashton Gate. Would dearly like to do the same again this afternoon, but the home side's form suggests that that's going to be a bit of a challenge. We'll see.
Well, yeah, playing against a confident side, always certainly going to be difficult, but this is a new game, new day, and it's just 11 v 11. for the moment anyway. Let's see what the benches and how they influence the game as it goes on. But I think both sides will be confident of getting a result. So we've got to be at our best, we know that. And of course, coming from away from home at times, soak up some pressure. When we get it, we have to play.
Lovely day here, by the way.
It is.
In the West Country. It's been warm. We have blue skies and a few puffy clouds overhead, but it's unseasonably pleasant weather, to be honest with you, for the last few days of October. There was a rare sighting of Tony Dorigo pre-match without a big coat.
Honestly, it happened. I soon put it back on, obviously.
Of course.
No, everything out there is nice for a game of football. It's a 12:30 early kick-off. That's a good ball.
Ball over the top for Naki Wells, who's into the penalty area. Rodon on his shoulder. And as Wells turns back, Bogle is able to come and take the ball off him. Wells, who was on target twice for Bristol City in their last game in midweek away at Stoke, when they came back from 2-0 down to draw 2-2. Wells with 2 quick second-half goals. And Bristol City attack again here. Good challenge by Bogle. He started the game well down this side. Jaden Bogle can't keep the ball in play on that occasion, having made the big block. So it's a Bristol City throw-in.
That was a good challenge. Ross McCrorie down this left-hand side, trying to get around the outside. Bogle was a match for him, but competitive start, no doubt.
So the throw-in is to be taken by McCrorie. And he'll aim at the Leeds United penalty box. Goes in that general direction. Now by the corner flag, and it comes off Bogle. It's gone behind for a Bristol City corner, the first of the match. And Hirakawa comes across to take it.
So the play from Max Bird, just got into the corner flag and aimed the ball at Bogle. It hit him and out for a corner. So yeah, another test, defensive duties, and let's see how we go.
Hirakawa looks like he's going to take an in-swinger here. There's a crowd of players around Meslier on the goal line. A little bit of pushing and shoving in there as well, which the referee won't see because he's running towards the corner taker.
He's looking at the ball to see if it's
in the quadrant.
In the quadrant. Yeah. He's saying it is, so...
Right on the edge as it's curled in to the near post from where it's headed up in the air by Piroe. Comes back goalwards, and then it'll be an easy watch for Illan Meslier as it bounces once and then goes out for a goal kick. And Leeds have successfully defended the game's first corner. Pascal Struijk in possession. Now Tanaka. Goes back to Meslier. Then just a long, straight ball from Meslier as Piroe set off on a run. He's not getting there. Byram comes in behind. He's not getting there either. And Bristol City clear up to Hirakawa, who goes down. Referee allows play to continue with Leeds on the ball. Aaronson in possession. Byram back to Aaronson again. Turns and gives it back to Rothwell. Rothwell into his own half to Rodon. To the right side and Bogle. Rodon stops, puts his foot on it, gives it to Tanaka, who's in a position between the two central defenders. Out wide to his central midfield partner Rothwell. Runs it forward now. And then passes it on to Byram. Byram into the penalty area. Piroe's just beyond the last man, so the flag is raised on the near side touchline for an offside.
Just went a little early, but previously when Meslier had the ball deep, I like the run from Piroe, which was just long and into the channel, over the shoulder of the defender. And at times we need that. Piroe doesn't really give us that. Joseph, probably does, but Piroe there, at least trying to get into those areas to get us further up the pitch.
O'Leary will take the free kick for Bristol City from the edge of the penalty area. Rodon underneath it, doesn't get there, but the flying figure of Naki Wells comes over his shoulder, and in doing so fouls Joe Rodon, and so that's a free kick to Leeds, which is pushed quickly back to Meslier. Meslier back to Rodon. Rodon out to the touchline to Bogle. Closed down, so it goes back to Rodon, back to Meslier as Wells came in at pace. 34 now, Naki Wells. He's played against Leeds in a variety of different shirts and often scored, hasn't he? As
He
Aaronson gives the ball away in his own half.
Scored a double, of course, in midweek as well.
As the ball goes over the top of Joe Rodon, and then behind him waits Meslier. And Struijk, and then it goes back into the penalty area to Meslier. And then Rodon. The 10th minute here at Ashton Gate, 0-0. Leeds on the ball with Joe Rodon. Puts into an area for Piroe. Piroe takes it back into his own half, finds Rothwell. Rothwell can now look forwards and goes wide to his left to Byram. Byram pushes it down that far touchline into the path of Gnonto. Gnonto moving it forward now into the edge of the area to Aaronson. Back it goes to Byram, and then back to Aaronson, and back to Gnonto on the edge of the box. Gnonto with one in front of him, comes into the area, gives it to Aaronson, trying to turn in there. Plays it out for Tanaka. Tanaka passes wide to the right side, and Bogle. Bogle's in the penalty area, trying to get it on his left foot perhaps. Gives it back to Tanaka. Plenty in there. Curled across to Byram on the far post. Heads it goalwards. Hits the defender standing in front of him and bounces clear. Back to Rothwell. Rothwell back into the penalty area, but it bounces too far ahead of Dan James and goes out behind for a goal kick.
Best piece of play so far. All started with Rothwell as well, getting the ball, and rather than just knocking it back, goes forward, goes out to the left-hand side. And eventually, we do work a good cross from this right-hand side, and Byram, the header, just hit Mark Sykes, didn't it? Not sure where on his body, but clearly no penalty, but a good move.
So O'Leary sends his defenders forward. No pretense at taking this one short. He's going for the long kick. And it's come out to this near side. It's going to sail over the touchline. Bizarre kick from Max O'Leary. Nobody was getting in that, were they?
No. It's one of those where you set up just to kind of win the first, if not win the second. And that one was given straight back to us. So, strange piece of play, but at least the last few minutes we seem to be more like ourselves and getting on the ball.
Piroe. Tanaka can't find him. And it's Aaronson battling on the halfway line. Now Rothwell, now Gnonto. Runners in front of him as he plays the ball to Dan James. Just a little too far of James. He's going to get there anyway. Back into the middle. Piroe was waiting. The header took it away from him. Still there for a shot goalwards from Rothwell. Well, he cushioned his volley, but it wasn't on target. It was wide of the post, and that was a really good chance.
Well, actually, it was two good chances, wasn't it? Because the ball to James actually wasn't that difficult. Just overhit. And if it wasn't, James was in straight at the keeper. And there, a little bit more difficult for Rothwell, but controlled it well, but just pulled it a yard or two wide of that near post. But good play again.
So the ball is back with the keeper, who does take this one short. James tried to get in and take it off him and wasn't a million miles away from doing that. The header is won by Gnonto on the left-hand side, but there's a chase for Piroe, and then it is given straight to Gnonto. Terrible clearance. Leeds have possession, and Gnonto will try and take advantage as he gets up to the edge of the penalty area. And then his cross is low, but it hits a heel and is cleared away. And Hirakawa is on the charge, but Rodon's at the ball before him, and he heads it for Rothwell, who hooks it back into the middle where Struijk waits and takes it under control, and then turns and looks forward and plays it out. Bogle's got a lot of space to operate down the right-hand side for Leeds. Cuts back as he's closed down, and Tanaka comes in to back him up. And Tanaka back into the penalty area to Meslier. And Meslier with his foot on the ball to Struijk. And out wide to the left side, and Rodon and up the line. Helped on by Byram to Piroe. Good ball from Piroe. Now Tanaka to Bogle. Bogle curls across into the penalty area. Bounces just in front of Piroe. And then takes the ball away from him. And Leeds almost got a runner through the middle there as Bristol City try and do the same at the other end, but with not such a successful outcome.
No, it's
goes straight through to Meslier.
A couple of moments now, isn't it, that we're suddenly getting our act together, and Bristol are just giving it away. Vyner there grabbed actually Aaronson when he was making a good run as well. So slowly we look to be getting on top.
In the sunshine here, bright sun across most of the pitch. Meslier on the edge of the D. Just holds the ball, waits, and then rolls it to his left to Struijk. On it goes to Gnonto, deep in his own half. Into the middle to Rothwell, back it goes to Struijk. Leeds working it to the right now with Bogle. Back it goes to Rodon, may well go back to Meslier, it does. And then Meslier with the ball out of the penalty area to Tanaka. On the left for Leeds. Runners go through the middle. Aaronson, there's a lot of space in front of Aaronson there, wasn't there?
There is, and he's looking for that. He's finding space. At the back, they seem stretched, Bristol City.
Leeds pushing 3 on the 4, and Aaronson sitting in that row as well now, as Bogle brings it forward to Piroe, helped on to Gnonto. Gnonto looking at his options here. Into the middle it goes to Piroe. Piroe just outside the D. His shot is blocked, and then it's delivered by Rothwell to Byram, and back to Rothwell again. Byram cuts back and goes to Struijk on the edge of the centre circle, to Rodon. All the red and white shirts are back in their own half now as Leeds come forward with Pascal Struijk to Gnonto. Out wide to the left side to Byram. Player in front of him. Byram comes back to Struijk, and then into the middle to Tanaka. And then Rothwell forward right to Bogle. Out to the right side, James is in lots of space outside the box. He's into the penalty area now. Dan James still with the ball. Chips it into the middle, headed as far as Tanaka. Heads it to Rothwell, gives it to Bogle, and onto the chest, high on the chest of Dan James. James is knocked to the ground. Referee says it was a fair challenge, and Tanaka slides in with another fair challenge. A really well-timed challenge as well that took the ball off his, well, maybe one-day international teammate. I think he's an under-21 international, isn't he, Hirakawa? But he slid in and knocked the ball into touch there, Tanaka.
Surely should have been a free kick against James. Just knocked it past the defender, who just blocked him and put him in the ground, but not given.
Bristol City win the ball on the halfway line, and now they attack with the ball out to the right-hand side. And the chance for a shot maybe before Byram makes an excellent tackle, but the second ball arrives at the feet of the Bristol City player, Tanner, and then it goes out to the right side, and Bristol City end up with a corner kick.
I think it was Mark Sykes over there who got the ball robbed from him initially, but then when he got it back, the cross eventually won Bristol City a corner kick, and another one to defend.
Bird has gone across, I should say, to take this one, which means that they're favouring the in-swinger again here. So Max Bird will put this one in that Leeds penalty area. Curled in high, heads up from Rodon, gets to it first. It comes out for Bogle, who just hammers a half volley high in the air, and it drops on the halfway line. Header won by Byram. Piroe, though, will not get to the header forward. Hirakawa's there before him and just pushes it back to O'Leary. And we've moved into the 18th minute, and the score is still goalless. Headed forward from the halfway line by McCrorie into the middle and space, and Naki Wells, who has support to his right. And now Hirakawa has the ball, and he's moving it up to the edge of the penalty area. Little step-overs before he crosses into the middle, and Struijk did well to get ahead on that one. He needed to as well, because there were players waiting behind him in red, and it comes off the head of Struijk and behind for a corner.
Byram unfortunate there, because he read exactly what Hirakawa was trying to do, but when he blocked the cross, it came off his thigh, and then, you're right, caused a few problems, but Struijk tidied up.
So this will be a Bristol City corner, and Hirakawa is going to take this one. So they've switched from that side, curled out towards the penalty spot. Bristol City trying to win the ball in that position. It comes back out, and then is delivered towards Wells on the edge of the box. And then it's curled into the middle. It needs clearing, this one, as the overhead shot goes just wide. And Meslier was watching that one as it went on its way. And fortunately, it went on its way just past the post rather than inside it from McNally.
Well, that was one heck of an effort, wasn't it, from the big centre-half. Twisted, turned in the air, and you're talking only a half a yard wide. Really good effort.
Bogle shown a lot of it to his opponent in the battle there, Bird, and suddenly it's Hirakawa through the middle for Bristol City. Good turn, shot deflection, just takes the ball wide again. And again, Meslier could only stand and watch and hope that the ball didn't go inside. It went outside the post.
Once again, deflection. When you see the keeper rooted like that, you're just hoping it goes the right side of the post. For us, that is out and wide, and it did.
Pressure is on. The corner kick has been taken too quickly. And so Bristol City are told to try again with Hirakawa again on corner taking duty from the far side. Kicking towards those Leeds fans, watching on anxiously from behind the goal as Leeds are under some pressure here. Bristol City loaded the penalty area again, headed away by Piroe. Comes out only as far as Tanaka. Tanaka pushes it wide to Sykes. And then Sykes back into the penalty area. Meslier's got to come and gather, and he does, above his head. And then he goes for the long, quick throw out to Gnonto. And Gnonto is kept away from the ball by Max Bird with the help of a hand. As Gnonto goes to ground, the referee sees nothing wrong with the challenge, and the game goes on.
Just caught in two minds, wasn't he? Gnonto there. Didn't quite get it under control.
Bristol City. Well, Hirakawa has been brought into the side for this game, and he's proving an effective player for the home side at the moment.
Busy, isn't he? Always looking for the ball. Outside, inside, trying to run in between the fullback and centre half as well.
Player who's been plucked out of the Japanese second tier. Japanese football is strengthening at more than the top level these days. And maybe he is an example of that. Bristol City with a throw-in just inside their own half, right side. We're in the 22nd minute, 0-0. It's the home side who've had the best moments in the last few minutes, for sure. O'Leary with the ball, straight ball out of the penalty area to Knight, the captain. And from Knight it goes back to the keeper. He plays the ball to McCrorie. Bogle gets in ahead of him. Leeds can't keep the ball though, and it's played through the middle where Wells is in space before Byram got in real quick, but when the clearance goes up in the air, it bounces out to the far side, and Sykes to pick up an attack again for Bristol City. On the edge of the penalty area now, curls the ball into the middle. Hirakawa on the chest, and then an important foot in from Struijk to clear the ball only briefly as the ball drops in under the crossbar, and Meslier gets up high and pushes it down to the ground before he picks it up.
Just a bit scruffy there at the back. We eventually get it away, but got to be very careful. A couple of times in the box there, I just thought one of our players would make a kind of a daft challenge. We restrained ourselves from that, thank goodness.
Rodon, long ball. Piroe well beaten in the air by Vyner. Then it's Aaronson who can't get to it ahead of McGuane on his championship debut for Bristol City, having arrived from Oxford United in the summer window. Leeds win the ball back down the left side. Piroe. Gnonto's in the penalty area, but the ball's too far ahead of Gnonto. And Piroe acknowledges the error of his ways there, because the other option was for him to go in alone, but he did try and play Gnonto in. It didn't work, and now Leeds are defending as Bristol City move the ball quickly into the penalty area at the other end, and it's cleared away by Struijk with runners coming in for the box, and Bristol City have a throw in.
The wrong option, wasn't it, from Piroe in the pass? Certainly was a really poor one. Oh,
Bogle is fouled, and the referee gives Leeds a free kick. You can hear the reaction perhaps of those behind the goal who feel that maybe they should have had a few more of those in the opening 23 minutes.
I'm thinking back to the Norwich game where we thought it was a bit of a basketball game, end-to-end stuff. This is kind of turning into that, isn't it? In that we get our opportunities, but straight away up the other end back come Bristol City. I think there's no doubt, I can just see Daniel Farker there wanting, I'm sure, a bit more control.
He's talked about that, hasn't he,
yep,
in the week since. Rodon at the back. Cushioned header to Bogle. Tanaka tries to head it back to Bogle. And then it's turned around the corner, and a move from the halfway line by McCrorie that has opened things up for Bristol City with McGuane out to his right now. Sykes has the ball, gives it back to Guane. And then from McGuane to, well, he's back on the ball again before he's taken off him by Aaronson. Now there is a bit of space if Gnonto can pick the pass out here. Not sure the run he got was the run he wanted. There was it from James. He was going central when maybe he needed to go wide. Leeds still have the ball, but the opportunity to spring a counter-attack has gone away for the time being.
At least we kept the ball, you're right. The run from James was kind of into trouble, wasn't it, rather than into space.
And space was the key commodity that Leeds United were being offered there. They didn't take full advantage by any stretch of the imagination. So they have the ball on the halfway line now with Rodon and Struijk. Aaronson, infield, a short way to Tanaka. Back it goes to Aaronson. And then to Byram, who's operating through the middle for Leeds just at the moment. Rothwell just alongside him, has the ball now. Goes back to Rodon. Rodon pushes it to Tanaka. Tanaka checks back to Pascal Struijk, and Struijk square to Rodon. Rodon, in it goes to Byram, laid back into the path of Tanaka. Leeds keeping possession just inside the Bristol City half. Now back in on the halfway line with Struijk. Struijk takes the easy option, which is Joe Rodon. Rodon asks for something else, and he gives it to Dan James. And James lets it run on to Bogle. Bogle's forced backwards, though, by the presence on his shoulder of Bird. Now Rodon to Tanaka. To Struijk. And back to Rodon, and then out wide to Bogle. Comes in field. Great layoff by Piroe, plays Aaronson in. Aaronson to his right to Dan James, curls a nice cross into the middle, where Byram, of all people, was arriving late, but the ball was headed away from Sam Byram just in time, but behind for Leeds' first corner.
It was excellent, patient play as well. We moved it around, good shape from Bristol City, but eventually Piroe just sprinted towards the ball. Excellent ball from Bogle, lovely flick into Aaronson, and off we go.
So Rothwell comes to take this for Leeds United. Sam Byram, as an addition to the first team, does offer an extra option. We've seen him do well from corner kicks in the past for Leeds. As Rothwell gives his teammates the signal, comes in low, flicked on by Piroe to the penalty spot where Byram was waiting, but the ball came in behind him and not at a level he could do anything with. It's cleared all the way out to Bogle. Bogle, long ball out to the right and into the penalty area, and it's taken away from Dan James by the header from Sykes at the cost of another Leeds corner.
And that first corner kick, yes, it was a low one, and it was Vyner actually that just got it away. Otherwise, you're right, it would have gone through to one of our boys. But let's see if this time we produce a different corner kick, a bit higher.
Maybe something a little more conventional in terms of the height. We'll see. I mean, it worked obviously for Struijk. So a different signal is given, suggesting a different corner from Rothwell here. Curled in, headed clear as far as the edge of the area. Aaronson shoots, and I think it came a little off the outstep there, so it was on target, but just over the crossbar, so not quite on target.
Never felt it was going to be on target, just had to take it quickly and leaning back slightly, but the corner was certainly a little higher, but didn't quite produce the goal that we had when Pascal scored. But at least we've got one, and the count is on. Let's hope we don't take another 187 to get the next one. We won't.
222, wasn't it?
Whatever it was, I lost count.
Piroe in the centre circle, does well. Plays the ball while he was looking for Gnonto, and then so was Dan James, but neither found him. And it goes back to O'Leary, and it's cleared into the centre circle. And then the ball is just pumped over the top for a chase out to the right-hand side for Naki Wells. And he's played it into a space in front of Hirakawa by the corner flag. Back it goes to Wells again, and then there's a runner arriving to his right, and the ball is chipped into the middle, and it's come off the head of Tanaka, and it's gone behind, and now it's Bristol City who have the corner. Yes, we have our basketball match.
We certainly do. Sykes again just running forward, just trying to get a cross in. Another block. This time from Tanaka. Good defending.
Hirakawa has gone to take this one. And we're at the half-hour mark in this game at Ashton Gate. Bristol City with a corner kick. Hirakawa taking his time. Curls it in, and then it's headed away from the edge of the 6-yard box. Second ball will be won by McGuane. In fact, he'll let it run out for a throw-in to Bristol City. An interesting option there, given that all his teammates were forward.
I think keeping it in would have been way better, and then trying to get it back in the box. But we'll take this time to set up.
Throw-in down that right for Bristol City, midway inside the Leeds half. Down the line it goes, beyond Byram. Wells was there, and it's blocked by Byram, but it's going to be another throw into Bristol City. This time they've advanced down the touchline and they're level with the edge of the Leeds box pretty much. Sykes with the ball in his hands. It's been a predictably open game so far. Both sides having spells. Bristol City remain in that Leeds United half just at the moment, with the throw-in goes back towards the halfway line, and Vyner. And then Leeds win it back. Now then, opportunities here. Again, the Piroe ball is not quite what Gnonto wants, and another opportunity to get going there is just let slip, to be honest. Free kick given away on the halfway line. Hirakawa's on the run for Bristol City down the right-hand side, just outside the Leeds box. Struijk in front of him. Support arrives as Hirakawa gets the ball back again, brings it away from Brendan Aaronson, and then play to Knight, and Knight into the penalty area, put it behind his teammate in the box, and it was cleared out coolly by Tanaka.
Some good play there from Hirakawa, but Brendan Aaronson, he's charging around, trying to win the ball back. A couple of times he's done extremely well, just not quite on that occasion. The young man Hirakawa showed a good pair of feet and cleared him comfortably.
Long ball out to this near side to McCrorie. Bogle challenges, and it comes off the back of the Leeds man, I think. Yep. As it goes out for a throw-in. She's taken at speed by Knight, the skipper. And then it goes back to O'Leary in the penalty area. The goalkeeper pushes the ball to the edge of the box before he clears off the ground. Bogle beaten in the air this time. Rodon's got to go across and defend ahead of Wells. Just rolls it towards the near side touchline. It's kept in play. It isn't kept in play. It's gone out.
It's ours.
And it's a Leeds throw-in, so that worked out rather well from Joe Rodon there. Just showing signs of some discomfort as he chased that ball back. And in the aftermath, doesn't look entirely happy.
Hopefully he's just taking a breather, but it's his clearance that came off Naki Wells that just went out, so good defending, but hopefully he's okay.
Well, he wasn't given long to recover because Jaden Bogle threw the ball straight to him. So Leeds now with Rothwell setting off into the sunshine. Byram gives it to his left to James, who's operating down that side just at the moment. Piroe back into the path of Rothwell. Gnonto through the middle at the moment for Leeds United. And Bogle out to his right-hand side, and over on the far side is Byram, arriving late and picks up the ball just outside the box. Curls his cross into the middle. Bogle at the far post. Did really well, and he couldn't quite get his header on target, hit the side netting. And that was a good move between the two fullbacks there.
It's a heck of a chance, and I think he actually should do slightly better as well, because the ball in is a perfect one to the back stick, and Bogle's arriving in perfect timing, gets up, but just heads it half a yard right of the post instead of just trying to go back the other way. Coming in quickly, but he certainly got there in plenty of time. Unfortunate.
Well, Bristol City have suffered the loss of a player. He's gone off injured while the game was going on. He was off the field. McCrorie it is who's had to depart. Naismith it is who will come on as his replacement, and this might necessitate a little switch around for Bristol City.
It is. Sykes looks like he's had to swap from the right, coming over here onto the left.
So Naismith is a defensive midfielder or a defender.
Well, he's come in to actually be central of the centre halves. Looks like there's
Well, I think that is
three
his position.
Yeah.
So he's gone in the middle of the three, I think, hasn't he?
He has.
As Leeds play the ball, well, rather Bristol City play the ball over the top, and it bounces out. Daniel Farker on the edge of the technical area, arms outstretched in the big anorak. And still asking questions of his players out there as Bogle just about keeps the ball in. He's now stuck by his own corner flag, and the ball has come off him as he tried to clear it forward, and it's gone behind, and that will be a cheaply conceded corner kick there.
It was from our throw. Brendan Aaronson just with a loose pass put Bogle in all sorts of trouble, and he couldn't dig himself out of it.
Hirakawa was thinking about taking the short corner. Instead, he thinks again and prepares to deliver into the penalty area. The ball is surely is not in the quadrant this time. It looks well out from where we are, if such things matter, as the ball comes into the near post where Piroe gets there again. And then broken clear, and now James is on the charge. Dan James races into the Bristol City half, and he has Gnonto to his left, and he's gone into James, and it's come off the heels of Gnonto, and it's all broken down, really disappointingly, because in that running race scenario, you really fancied James in particular to just keep going, but it all broke down when it was looking so promising.
I'm with you. I'm not quite sure why he didn't just go alone. Saying that, Bristol City, the midfielder, did well.
Aaronson got the ball into the middle, and the clearance has come off the back of a Bristol City player.
They're asking for a penalty.
For handball.
Yeah, they're asking for a penalty. The hand went down, but I'm not sure what else you can do with your hand. You do put it down to kind of cushion your
slide.
Fall. Yeah, the slide. Yeah, without it, you just head first into the turf. So I get why that wasn't given, and I get why you're going to appeal it as well.
Leeds take a short corner to the edge of the penalty area to Gnonto, who curls his shot in. Keeper, great save. That was going in, no question. Leary got across to push it away. Leeds pick up the second ball, and it goes behind off the block from Bird for a Leeds United corner kick.
Well, at last we worked the keeper really well. Gnonto was alive, and O'Leary had to fling himself to his left to pull off a decent stop.
So Rothwell on this near side this time to take the corner kick for Leeds. 38th minute, 0-0 here at Ashton Gate. Chances at both ends. Rothwell ready to put the ball into that penalty area here. Up go the heads from Rodon, and through the crowd of players, Joe Rodon's header bounced into the turf and up into the hands of O'Leary.
He's done everything right as well. He's got there, made a good contact, headed it down, unfortunately, straight at the keeper, who's just had to put his hands up and catch it, but that was certainly better.
Good signs from Leeds in terms of the set piece as well. A couple of good moments from corner kicks there. Leeds now defending. Hirakawa kept away from the ball by Tanaka. The long clearance into the Bristol City half. On the halfway line, Bogle and Aaronson, and Bogle is penalised for his challenge on Sykes, and the free kick will be Bristol City's.
And going back to the Dan James opportunity as well, so he didn't run away from the defenders, but he then ran straight in to Gnonto and then gave him a hospital ball from behind. It just kind of ran out of puff and ideas, didn't he, at the wrong time, unfortunately.
Bristol City have managed to gain significant distance forward on this free kick, as Daniel Farker is pointing out. It was on the halfway line. It was taken quite away inside the Leeds half. Leeds win it back quickly. Now there's another opportunity for the runners to go. Gnonto this time is going through the middle, and he's played in James, and James has put it just past the keeper, but at the same moment O'Leary stretches and catches or pushes the ball away, and then Gnonto with a very late challenge as the ball is cleared out is yellow carded for his attempt. Rather a reckless attempt to try and win it back for Leeds.
It was. We didn't actually touch Knight, but Knight knew it was coming and went down. So it looked worse. The crowd were up, and Gnonto's saying I didn't touch him, but if you make that sort of challenge, you better get to the ball. And he didn't, so in the book he goes. But it was an excellent ball this time from Gnonto to James. And James's pace got him there, but O'Leary, the keeper, actually got out really quickly, didn't he? Smothered the angle and smothered the ball.
That was probably the best opening that Leeds have fashioned in this game thus far, of a few now. Gnonto's had his shot well saved, so Leeds have had the big moments in the most recent minutes of this match as we move into the final 5 of the first half. There's been action at either end. And that's the worst free kick you will see all season from Naismith.
Wow.
And he's literally sliced it straight into touch.
That's not just out, that's just on an angle going towards Rosed. Bizarre. Maybe it's a ploy. Give it back to us.
Interesting ploy.
Interesting ploy, yeah.
Bogle with the ball in his hand for the throw-in to Rothwell. Given away by Rothwell. Foul by Aaronson. Just left a foot in there as Knight tried to turn away. So that's a Bristol City free kick, which you'd imagine will maybe not be taken by Naismith. And it's a little further, another 25 yards further forward than the last one. So it's well up in the Leeds half now. This time it will be Bird who delivers for the home side. Left foot up in the air it goes. Meslier's underneath it, catches it really well. Watched it all the way, the Leeds keeper. And then shields his eyes as he lands and throws the ball out short to Rothwell. He gives it to Bogle. Bogle goes back into Rodon. Rodon's got Bogle available again to his right, and he gives the ball to him now. Doesn't see anything available in front of him, so goes back to Rodon once more. Now Struijk to Byram. And back to Struijk again, into the penalty area to Meslier. He's going to get this right. Ball was rolling in on his left side, got his foot through it. And on the halfway line, it's headed into the path only of Byram and then looped back into the Leeds half. Struijk back to the halfway line. Gnonto puts a foot in a little too high, and the referee's penalised him.
He didn't put his foot in though, he stopped. He wanted to, and then I think he put his kind of knee up, but didn't continue. I think we all thought he was going to. The referee did as well and gave a free kick, but that was for nothing for me.
Got to be a little bit careful though.
Yeah, no, for sure. Once he's got that yellow, you need to play a little differently.
It's Naismith in possession for Bristol City. Now it's Vyner, and then it's blocked well by Aaronson, and it's set up Piroe to look at goal, and he's played Aaronson down his left, who's in the box, turns and looks towards goal now, Brendan Aaronson. Leeds find that a lot of the Bristol City bodies have now got back where they had a numerical advantage briefly. Now Gnonto into the penalty area through the legs of the first player before it's cleared away well up into the Leeds half. Only Meslier there to nod it into the path of Pascal Struijk.
Once again, though, Aaronson, brilliant play to win the ball back. He's worked really hard off the ball.
He has it again now for Gnonto. Now then, Bogle, can he keep this one in play? It's not going to be possible, unfortunately. It's run away from him. It's overhit, and so it's a Bristol City throw-in. And it will be taken down this near side touchline. In the shadow. Thrown forward by Sykes. Operating that left, the full-back position now. James and Aaronson go in for Leeds. Between them, they've won a throw-in. Bogle steps up to take it. Bogle, all the way back it goes into his own half to Joe Rodon. Now Struijk and then Byram over on the left side for Leeds. Gnonto's up the line, he gets the ball now. Comes back into his own half to Byram. Leeds intent on keeping possession with Struijk. And then Rodon. Bogle available to his right side, he goes to his left instead of Rothwell. And Rothwell onto Gnonto. Gnonto back into his own half to Rothwell. And then Struijk in the middle. And now Rodon, and then all the way back to Meslier. Meslier pushes it out to the number 6, Joe Rodon. Pascal Struijk, the recipient from Rodon. Rothwell outside of him. Rothwell thought about a crossfield ball there. Again, the runners are lurking on the shoulders of the Bristol City defenders, waiting for the moment.
They are. Bristol City just playing a slightly high line at times, which just invites the runner to go behind.
And here's one example. Gnonto is off down the left-hand side. He's coming infield now. He's gone for the long-range effort, and it was ambitious, overly ambitious. It was an easy catch for O'Leary, and at the same moment, Bogle was looking to him and saying, I was in space to your right-hand side. Was that not the better option?
I thought he might have been going actually for Dan James, who was running across and just lifted it a yard or two high, and it goes into the keeper's arms. But good run and good play again.
I'm saying it's a shot.
I'm saying it's a cross.
1 minute added time. 1 minute.
Minutes added time, as you will no doubt have heard. Bogle, long ball forward for Leeds. Hopeful ball, it has to be said, but it does bring a throw in. So to an extent, it's worked as the defender McNally put it into touch, and it's well up in that Bristol City half now, as we are 30 seconds away from the end of that added minute. So Leeds, if they're going to do anything, they're going to have to do it quick. And they're going backwards to go forwards, because it's Rodon to Struijk from the throw-in. Now Byram. Gnonto. Byram again, back to Rothwell. And now Struijk in the centre circle to Rodon. And Bogle, infield he comes. This is going to be the last action of the first period. We've hit the added minute, and right on time. The whistle goes to the lips of the referee, and he signals an end to proceedings. So Leeds have had good moments in that first half. Bristol City have had a couple themselves as well. And I guess that synopsis suggests that the scoreline might well be what we have at the moment, which is goalless.
Yeah, certainly was an even start to the game. And I thought that we got on top, but back come Bristol City with a couple of good efforts. Then back we come and started controlling and dictating things. But again, those half chances that we had, we did not take advantage. I can just see Gnonto talking to the referee again, and I can see why, but he's just got to be careful he doesn't talk himself into the book or make another poor challenge. But I think if we just step it up, there's certainly chances for us out there to go and get all 3 points, but we have to take those chances in the second half.
So the game is finally balanced here at Ashton Gate. The half-time scoreline is Bristol City 0, Leeds United 0.
Boiler's bust, I'm afraid. Needs a new PCB.
Baffle. Baffle?
Hot valve.
Yeah, I reckon I can get you about... January?
January? Found the part. Oh, they don't make it anymore.
Say goodbye to the old way to sort your boiler and say hello to Boxed. Get a new boiler installed the next day in just a few clicks and pay your way with one fixed price, upfront or monthly on all new boilers. Order now at Boxed, the smart way to buy a boiler.
Something magical is living in my house. If I spill or make a mess, the next moment it's magically gone. I never see them, but they get everywhere. Is it fairies or mini little people? Is it you? Everything is so sparkly, sparkly. Mummy says try not to make too much mess, so we don't scare them away.
No magic, no spells, just astonish.
Escape to a land where it's no work and all play. There's no such thing as speed limits. Where wild animals roam. And around every corner is a new adventure. Where you live amongst nature and giant rabbits come and say hello. Escape to Flamingo Land. Book your day pass online at flamingoland.co.uk.
Oh, new TV?
Yeah, it's the new Hisense Mini LED.
Should have asked me what to get. We've got a 65-inch with Mini LED, but you've got to be paying at least $2,000 for that.
Actually, this one has all those features and more, and we didn't pay anything like that. Looks great, doesn't it?
So Matchday Live then this Saturday lunchtime kickoff goalless at the moment after the first 45. Michael Bridge is in the studio with us today in a half that. Well, the game hasn't quite set alight just yet. I think it's probably the best way to put it. But going in goalless at half time with a platform to build on for the second.
Yeah, there's plenty of good periods, I would say, from both teams in that first half. The better chances obviously have fallen to the Leeds United players, which is good, but obviously we haven't taken our opportunities. And I think you can also see why Bristol City, Rich, have had such a good home record, unbeaten in 10 games, as we talked about, because they do look defensively organised at certain parts. They can control the game. They've had a couple of chances, so you can see why. They make it tough for the opposition, but I just think second half, I think what Daniel thought would be saying, we've got to be more clinical, because there's been some big moments in that first half where we've counter-attacked well, we've opened up, and when their full-backs are pushing on, Dan James had a lot of joy getting in on goal from wide areas, coming in to exploit the full-back's position that he's left.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the action from the first half then. And like you say, different periods of the game where each of the teams have had their moments, haven't they? And certainly this one here, on the swivel, this looked like this was nearly a moment of magic.
Yeah, well, I think if Rothwell could have this again, you know, the technique and the timing, it's never easy to catch a volley like that. And I think if he could play that back again, he would love a second opportunity at it. He would look to get the connection a lot better. And then there was the opportunities that we said from Bristol City. There was the McNally, and then a player highlight before the game, Hirakawa, finding himself. You can tell by his reaction. Thankfully, that took a deflection away from goal because that was on target. And it's just kind of been all the chances we're seeing are half chances. What could have been. I would say that this header from Bogle, there's a positive to take from, because what it is, it's full-back to full-back, so it's Sam Byram getting the ball in a wide area, which is good because it stretches the defensive line of Bristol. You've got the other full-back in Bogle coming across, however, he must go back across goal there or down low and hard. And Willie Gnonto, we talked about before the game, what can he do? He's in a good vein of form. So again, they're just chances that are half-hearted opportunities. The best one was Dan James, where I feel he's just got to dink the goalkeeper, and it was a counter-attacking moment once again. So just have a look at the quality play from the winger to winger. Dan goes inside, then he makes his run outside, and at that moment there, that's the best opportunity of the half, where I'm just expecting Dan just to get a little dink. Now, what it comes with, he hasn't been involved for a few matches. You remember he had a rich vein of form when he could score goals at will. That was a moment where you think, oh, just a little bit rusty, trying to get the cobwebs out. and hopefully second half he can come out and still create as amount of good chances we did first half.
They were talking about Willie Gnonto, and we heard from him pre-match as well. How good a ball is that through for that opportunity there? Because, I mean, it is inch perfect. It has to be, otherwise the keeper's going to collect that or it's not going to make its way through. But it's just bang on the money, isn't it?
Call it weight of pass. So the thinking of Willie Gnonto there, when he's going through, he's got pace to burn, we know that. But just a quick train of thought, he sees Dan James's little run, the weight of pass, so what it allows DJ just to take is that first touch has got to go over the keeper. But it's just the quality in I call it the pass appreciation, Rich.
It's a pass appreciation society right here, got to tell you. In terms of that first half, where are the threats from Bristol City? We spoke before the match about they love to get the crosses in from wide. We spoke about the importance of the Leeds fullbacks today. Sam Byram coming in as well. How have you felt they've done?
Well, I think they've done absolutely fantastic. The wide threat that Bristol City are known for hasn't really affected us in this moment. All their chances have come from central areas. From Hirakawa when he got the ball towards the edge of the box. So a massive tick for Sammy Byram coming in to fill in for Furbo, and a massive tick for Bogle on the opposite side. They've really nullified anything in wide areas from Bristol City, which their stats in previous games have suggested. They love to get the ball in the area. So as a positive from the coaching aspect of that, in half-time they'll be going, lads, pretty much of the same, and try and show them inside, because then we've got Tanaka and Rothwell. So where's our numbers? Centrally. So a very good job.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's one of those games where both teams will be in those changing rooms at the moment, and they'll be getting messages from both of the coaching setups saying this game is very much there for the taking. Bristol will feel it, and Daniel Farker talking to the Leeds players, they'll feel that as well.
Whichever team scores first and the second half goes on to win this game. I'm telling you. There you go. That's my take on the second half.
Hey, listen, that's what you're here for.
It's a big moment, but like you say, it is finally in the balance. And I think that's why Leeds will be. I'm upset, and I'm gutted that we haven't taken the two good moments in that first half that we've made for ourselves. So again, it's going in at half time, and Farker shown the footage that we've just seen there to say plenty more of the second. Forward runs, forward thinking, crosses into the area, and get Willie Gnonto and Dan James on the ball as much as we can. And the other side of it, we've got impact players that can come off the bench, and we've seen it in previous games. Matteo Joseph getting some action. We've got Paddy Bamford waiting to get stamp his authority on this season. So, you know...
Man of Solomon, of course, in the wide areas as well, if required.
And again, from them, I've got to say Sinclair Armstrong only got 2 goals this season, but there was big talk about him after he went to QPR. He's a big player. So we've got threats. We've got a lot more threats than them off the bench, but they've got key players that can change this game as well.
Would you say Leeds look the stronger of the two teams, especially when those moments on the break have come? You've thought... You know, Leeds are pretty incisive, and with Willie Gnonto and with Dan James and the pace that they've got doing that, there was one moment where they kind of almost ended up getting in each other's way. But generally speaking, they've looked threatening on those breaks.
Yeah, I mean, you look at stats in a positive and negative, but the ones I look at is touches inside the opposition box. They're the ones. That's where you score the goals from. You know, if you get a long range shot going in, fair play. You can have as many set plays and corners as you want. Do they guarantee you goals? No, they don't. Touches inside the area. So we have had a lot of touches inside their box, as opposed to Bristol City have inside of ours. And that's the stat that will be pleasing for Daniel Farker, knowing we need a goal to get this game won. OK, well, the players will be out shortly back for the second half, but let's take a look at a couple of our players who we've been, getting to know a little bit more, as we are doing with the squad this season across LUTV. This is Dan James and Joe Rodon having a game of favourites.
Gnocchi.
Birthday cake. Don't lie, it is the cake, come on.
Yeah, like sponge cake, yeah. House.
You like old school classics, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Right, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
Gladiator. You've watched it like 100 times. He watches it every night for a game.
I'm going to say Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, wait, it wasn't...
It's not Gladiator, but
it is. He's watched it 100 times.
I haven't got one. I'd watch anything.
How's that? Pirates of the Caribbean, you likes that?
No.
Lord of the Rings.
Tim and Ethan.
Yeah.
Welshies.
Maldini.
Nah, so you know mine. You know mine?
Yeah, Sergio Ramos.
What's yours?
So I didn't get that right.
I don't know, this is that. I was going to say one. Messi?
Hazard.
Oh, mate. Oh, I got a new one. You're not going to know.
I've got a new one. Chess.
Do you even go on your phone?
I don't think so.
Trumps? No?
Insta. Yeah.
Swear down.
Well, that's what you got most,
Alright, I didn't know that one, yeah, but it's not my favourite app.
It's an app, innit?
Alright, well, whatever.
LA.
Yeah, nice. Where have we even been like the last 2 years, 3 years?
Come on, just guess.
I don't know. Ibiza?
No, Portugal. Come on,
Do you even watch TV? Like,
yeah, not loads.
Like series though?
I don't know. What is it?
Game of Thrones.
Ah, okay. What's mine?
Yours. Entourage?
I do like Entourage, yeah, but I'd say The Office.
Okay.
US.
All right, it was close. I'll take it. Adidas.
That's a brand.
I don't know. Shoes. Trainers. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely you.
Sweaters.
No.
Huh? Granddad sweater.
Nah, not granddad sweater.
Trousers.
My favourite one.
Favourite one, Juniors.
Yeah, he knows that. It's class. I can't remember your one though. You used to sing E-Funds last year a lot.
I don't really have a favourite. I've not thought about it until right now.
I'm just going to say E-Funds for him. Just say yes. Just
yes, then, yeah. Ethan's.
Laurel and Hardy.
My main takeaway from that is poor Daniel Farker sat there in the changing room trying to give a team talk with those two yabbering on in the background, honestly.
Like the Chuckle Brothers or Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah.
Good viewing, though. I like seeing the lads in that relaxed atmosphere. And after speaking to Joe after he signed, I said, mate, I'm delighted you've signed a full contract. And he said, Bridgie, there's two reasons I've come here. I've got, obviously, DJ and Ampadu in the Leeds United fans at Elland Road. They were his words.
There you go. Bit disappointing that when asked for their favourite app, neither of them went for the Leeds United one. But there you go. Obviously, haven't been briefed beforehand. OK, the players are out. One that we've just seen there, Dan James getting ready to go. Bristol City players heading out for this second half as well. Who's going to take the points today? Who's going to capitalise on the first half? Let's head over to the gantry and Brynlaw with Tony DeRigo.
OK, we're all set to go again here at Ashton Gate with Leeds United back out, Bristol City out there as well. Quick scan suggests that the two teams are as they were at the end of the first half. Bristol City having already been forced into a change from the McCrorie injured. And the game will restart with Bristol City taking the kick off here. The Leeds fans are behind the goal towards which Leeds will be kicking in this second half. Tight game so far. Leeds have had chances. Bristol City have had a few moments and plenty of corner kicks as well. And so we're underway. And it's O'Leary who delivers a long ball forward out towards the Bristol City left. Tackle goes in from Tanaka.
Excellent.
Typically tenacious.
Really good challenge and clever to just knock it off the Bristol City player as well to win the throw-in.
Bogle with the ball and the throw-in for Leeds. For those who've been quiet about our presence, where we're sitting for this one, we are in the media seats, I promise you, not in the junior section of the stadium. As we watch a long ball through for Dan James to chase. Like policemen, they get younger and younger these days. Rodon with a header up towards the halfway line. It's come back though for Wells. Struijk tries to get a leg around him, and then Tanaka's caught as he wins the ball back and moves forward in the Leeds half. And Tanaka is maybe asking the referee whether more punishment was required for that.
That was a poor challenge. McGuane with a late challenge. Tanaka just too quick, knocked it past him, but the challenge kept coming and took him out.
Just the one yellow for the two teams so far. Gnonto in the first half. Tanaka on the ball. Rodon. And now Struijk. Byram up the touchline, but he can't play it into the path of Gnonto, and it's cleared out for a Leeds throw-in as Daniel Farker watches on. Byram, well, Piroe looked like he had a little shove in the back as he went to challenge for the ball there. The referee didn't spot it. Tanaka for Leeds on the halfway line. Turns well.
Oh,
lovely
brilliant
play to get Bogle in down the right-hand side. Charges forward now. Bogle right up to the edge of the box. Tries a low shot. Shouts for handball from behind the goal. Referee's having none of it. Leeds win it back in the Bristol City half. Struijk, not the best ball from Pascal Struijk, but Piroe's gone out to keep it in play, and now he can look towards the penalty area. Tucks it back into Gnonto, who gets a return ball from Byram. Gnonto now looking towards the penalty area, gives it back to Byram on the edge of the box, and now Rothwell a bit further out. Rothwell on his right foot plays it towards the far post, where the heads go up. It's cleared up in the air and away, and Rodon has to go in and win the header, and he does. But the second ball, well, it was into the path of Knight, but his attempted ball forward hit Byram and came off Byram and out for a Bristol City throw in their own half.
A couple of moments there on the left-hand side. You're looking up into the box, and it's 5 defenders against 3 of us. We need to try and commit 1 or 2 more bodies in there when we've got the ball in good wide areas.
So Bristol City still waiting to, or still delaying the throw-in. Vyner now into the Leeds half. Rodon's header back into the Bristol City half, and Vyner with the header back into Leeds territory onto the head of Rodon again. Tanaka takes it down, lovely control. Again, cool and calm in the centre of the field for Leeds United. Goes back to Rodon. And now Struijk, weighing up his options, goes to Byram. Byram sees the chance to play it up the line to Aaronson. Aaronson just showed a little bit too much of that to Naismith, who seized on the opportunity to slide in and clear it into touch.
I'm looking at Tanaka, and my goodness, he sorts out chaos well, doesn't he? Whatever is going on around, any craziness comes to him, and he just brings it out the air, sorts the job out, and gets us playing again.
Gnonto and Byram, in a slightly strange manner, are managing to keep the thing alive for Leeds down this near side, exchanging loopy passes before Tanaka back into his own half, as if to exemplify what Tony's just mentioned there, to Struijk. And now Rodon and Bogle. There's a run down the right-hand side from Dan James, who I think saw the ball coming out the sun there because he shaded his eyes as it was dropping. He didn't get there. Bogle, his half-volley pass clearance is not what was required. And then Tanaka maybe receiving a yellow card for this challenge. It's a foul for sure. Will there be further punishment for the Leeds man? Himself was crunched a moment earlier.
I'm not sure, just a talking to, if you ask me. And that's just about what he's got away with, I think. No, he hasn't.
Card comes out. So, I mean, that may be a fair decision, but that would heighten the sense that maybe Leeds should have had something similar. And I think, again, that's exactly what Daniel Farker down with the fourth official is probably arguing as well.
Yep.
What's the difference? The two challenges are in exactly the same position and exactly the same sort of challenge. And one produced a yellow and the other didn't. A yellow for the man in yellow. And a Bristol City free kick in the Leeds half now. Across the line it goes. Heads towards goal. Meslier's got to get out quick, and he does, and he's dropped it. He was actually kind of impeded as he went to hold on to it the second time, so a foul is called. It's a Leeds free kick inside the penalty area. Should they require it, they do. Meslier drops the ball down and then asks Struijk to come and help out. So Struijk saying that the Bristol City man isn't far enough away, the 10 yards. So he's Hirakawa is called back. Leeds take a short free kick square anyway. And it's Rodon into Tanaka. Tanaka to Struijk to Byram. Again, Byram tries to play the ball up the line. This time it doesn't work. Struijk with a header to clear for Rothwell to Tanaka. Now there's space for Bogle down the right side for Leeds, and he's taking advantage of that by racing across the halfway line now, and he's played the ball. Great ball into the path of James, who's in the penalty area, into middle. Gnonto! Cleared off the line. Vyner got in behind the keeper and read Gnonto's intentions, and the keeper was beaten, the defender wasn't.
Wonderful play down the right-hand side. Bogle to James, using his pace well, and Gnonto, you're right, sends the keeper the wrong way, but good defending from Bristol City in the end.
Leeds with a throw in to try and keep the pressure on, and Rothwell. Struijk. Byram. Byram holds it up. Short ball to Aaronson. Aaronson just about kept in play by Byram. Tanaka is in there. Nice flick from Aaronson back to Byram. It's into the path of Tanaka. Tanaka to the edge of the penalty area to Piroe. Piroe into the path of Aaronson. Goes on his right foot, shoots! Hits the side netting. And a few behind the goal, I think, thought that might have hit the back of the net. It didn't, it hit the side of the net. And it's behind for a goal kick.
Once again, so close, really good tight play. Well, a couple of times we lost control, but they certainly didn't. Weaved their magic, got it into the box, and Aaronson almost deceived the keeper at that near post. But these almost chances, we need to convert. They need to change. They need to end up in the back of the net.
Amen to that, brother. O'Leary will take the kick from the edge of the 6-yard box. Bogle's header forward, flicked on by James beyond Piroe though, and home side have the ball with chase down the left-hand touchline for Rodon, and it's come off Rodon. It's gone behind for a corner kick. So Bristol City suddenly appear in a menacing position at the other end.
Naki Wells always just got to be wary of him. Rodon did well, but experienced striker manages to win inside a corner kick.
So Bird has gone over to take it. Home supporters in that far corner make some noise as he goes towards them, and they watch on as he prepares to take this corner. Leeds defending the 6-yard box in numbers here. Everybody bar Dan James pretty much in it or on the edge of it, and the referee, so crowded in there, has called a pause in proceedings to go and have a look and have a word.
Vyner is the one that's going to push Rothwell kind of right out the way.
Now the referee has retreated, so the corner kick can be taken. It's coming short and low, and it's caught well by Wells, but as he was turning on the ball, he couldn't keep over the ball, and it goes high over the crossbar.
Well, that's our corner kick, isn't it? Hard and low and attack that near post, but Pascal scored from it, and he also actually saw that one and defended well to put Naki Wells off.
Leads down the right. Ball is too far ahead of James, I think.
No, it's not. He'll still get there.
He is quick, and the keeper has come out, and these... Well, Dan James has he been penalised for the challenge on the keeper there?
He has.
He might have won a corner.
Well, he beat Sykes. I knew he'd get to that one, but the keeper did get out there and almost made a mistake.
Well, I tell you what, the free kick was on the byline, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not the position from which it's being taken on nearly on the rugby union try line, I think that is, isn't it? The additional markings on this Ashton Gate pitch from the game that was played here last night. The 15-man version. Rodon header comes off the back of Tanaka, and it's unlucky for Leeds. Now they've got to defend, and Meslier has got to get out to the edge of his penalty area. Instead of going in hands first, he went in feet first, but he got there, cleared it. But Leeds now have a problem. There's a man down in the centre circle, Aaronson, and Bristol City have possession on the halfway line. Aaronson's back on his feet in that centre circle, but Bristol still on the ball. And they have it with the skipper, Knight. Back to the halfway line, Vyner onto the head only of Byram, but it gets back to Vyner. Now Struijk with a header down, trying to get Rothwell on the ball. He loses out. He's played through the middle, and Mellier's hesitated again. Why didn't he just come and get involved there?
Because he knew the ball was coming inside the box and he could just pick it up, but I'm with you. A bit more urgency would have been nice, but he had it all under control.
Good. Rodon to Struijk. And back to Rodon again. Rodon holds it in that central position before he decides just to go back to Meslier, as Hirakawa got closer and closer. Now Struijk. Struijk runs across the edge of the penalty area, gives it to Rodon. Jaden Bogle goes down that far touchline. This time the ball goes just out of play, so it'll be a Bristol City throw-in. Bogle and James trying to link up down that side again. It's worked well once this half, not on that occasion.
It has, but you're looking at the clock again, aren't you? Coming up to the hour mark, and I'm looking down to see what we're doing with our subs. It's Bristol City, though, again. They're going to make a couple of changes.
That's true. 2 men ready to come on. Leeds have a couple warming up, but not ready to appear just yet. Rothwell. Bogle looks up, sees the chance to put it in long for James through the middle. James bundles one defender out the way and then runs straight into the keeper with his second challenge. And a free kick is given, and it's taken really quickly because Bristol City are now crossing the halfway line with possession and space. Out wide on this right side. Hirakawa with the cross left-footed. Hit Byram and comes back out to Knight. In it goes. And Knight picks it up through the middle, given away to Struijk. Now Tanaka, lovely ball,
Great
ball. To Gnonto, and can he keep it in? No, he can't. And it just ran away from him there, Willie Gnonto. It's such a shame because it was 2v2 if he kept the ball in play. And as it goes out, the board goes up to signal the changes. Armstrong is going to come on for them. And Matthew Wells, who is going on a bit in years, is going to come off now. It's going to be a very different replacement because Armstrong is a big boy and he is coming on to play up front. The other change, Earthy's coming on as well. And McGuane, the man who come into the side, is coming off.
He's done a solid job in that midfield. But you're right, Armstrong looks robust, to say the least. So it'll be a different physical challenge now.
Republic of Ireland international from Dublin. He's chasing early and he's battling early with Struijk here. Expect to see more of the same. Leeds get the call on this occasion with a free kick. I'm sure that's what Armstrong's been sent on to do. Bogle in space down the right for Leeds, advancing ever further into the Bristol half. He's on the edge of the box now, plays it in, tries again to just link up with Dan James, and the pass is slightly overhit and it goes behind for a goal kick.
Just a couple of times our passing in that last third hasn't quite been there, but we've had chances, we really have, in the first half and here in the second. But as the game progresses, you've got to be looking to your bench and thinking, right, what else can we do? Clearly we have plenty of options on there as well. Solomon, of course, Joseph, Bamford. Let's see.
Rothwell delivers ball back to his own goalkeeper from some distance away. Out it comes to Struijk. And back to Meslier again. Meslier to Rodon. Bogle down the right, just about reaches him. And he's done well. Helped out by Brendan Aaronson now. Aaronson's in the middle for Leeds, and there are runners out on this near side. Byram is in space on the left for Leeds. Byram, short ball infield to Aaronson. Back it comes to Byram. Now Bristol City able to drop into their shape off the ball. Gnonto to Rothwell to Tanaka. Now Gnonto on the left for Leeds United. Still with the ball at his feet here. Gnonto goes one way then the other. Byram comes off him and gets the pass off him. And then Byram turns back and gives it to Gnonto again. Gnonto trying to probe down the left-hand side. Comes infield, gives it to Tanaka. Tanaka looking for a pass on the edge. Goes for the shot instead. Takes a deflection. He hit that one. The keeper was diving. He hit a defender on the head and went behind for a corner.
It's a great effort as well, because he gets it, finds himself in a bit of space, then just moves forward and lets fly. Naismith, I think, just gets a touch, takes it away from the keeper who was diving to his left.
Yellow, yellow, yellow is the roar from behind the goal. Rothwell goes out to the far side to take this corner kick for Leeds United. Past the hour mark here at Ashton Gate. It remains Bristol City 0, Leeds United 0. Rothwell into the middle. Heads up and over from Byram. Did that thing he does well. Arrived late and got good contact on the ball, but wasn't the precision required.
Pascal was right behind him, running actually the easier forward way, straight onto the ball. Delivery again is key from Rothwell. It was superb and just couldn't take advantage of it.
So O'Leary, having gone to retrieve the ball, is now preparing to take the goal kick. Still a clutch of Leeds players warming up down below. O'Leary takes his time.
Just looking at Max Bird out there for Bristol City, he looks to be struggling a little.
As Byram picks up at the back for Leeds. Goes back to Struijk. Out wide to Gnonto. Gnonto into the path of Aaronson. And then almost threaded through the middle for James, but it's another one of those almost moments. And Leeds are now on the halfway line, trying to win the ball back, winning it twice, and it breaks nicely for James to lay it off for Piroe. Piroe not seen much of the ball in this second half. As it's cleared away into the Leeds half from Byram and Rothwell. Leeds anxious to get things going again here with the possession. Into Tanaka. Gnonto. Well, there's a lot of space for Gnonto. Nobody came with him. And then he's giving it away, and that's so frustrating. As Leeds were trying to build something again. Great challenge by Rothwell on Hirakawa. And then knocked wide for Byram, who'll keep it in play down the left for Leeds, level with the edge of the box. Byram asking for an option here. Aaronson's over his shoulder. Gets the ball off him now. Aaronson back to Rothwell, opens it up to Tanaka. Tanaka comes back to Rothwell. Aaronson rather. Aaronson back to the halfway line to Struijk. And then to Rodon. And now to the right side to Bogle. Sun across that right half of the pitch as Leeds look at it. And then into the middle to Tanaka. Now there's space in front of Rothwell, and he's on the ball, and he's giving it to Byram. Byram's moving up to the edge of the penalty area now. Trying to go outside of his marker, and then falls over, and it comes off his head and rolls behind. And it goes out for a goal kick, and Tanner did his job.
He did, but Bristol City are just kind of defending well in their structure, but not really then when they get the ball doing much to harm us. But we need to, I think, have a bit more urgency when we go forward, a bit more movement, a bit more creativity. At the moment, yes, we're on top, but we're not getting the end result, which is strikes on target, and more importantly, a goal.
65th minute, 0-0. O'Leary's goal kick. Struijk battling with Armstrong.
Winner there, Struijk.
On that occasion, yeah, Leeds man on top. Rothwell, looping header out wide. James goes up against Naismith. Naismith wins the header. Where it lands ultimately, nobody knows. Well, Tanaka does. He's there and he's got it. And he's held on to it. And now Aaronson. And Leeds get the throw in, midway inside the Bristol City half. Tanaka, I think, is arguing for a free kick there. The referee didn't give him anything. Leeds with Struijk in possession to Rodon in the Leeds half. Played into Piroe, laid off for Gnonto. Gnonto's got to go back and retrieve that before he can start to move forward. And he brings it down the left side for Leeds. Still going forward, they've all stood off him. Now he's going across into the middle. And now he's gone back to Struijk, and now Rothwell. And Rothwell into the centre circle to Rodon. To Struijk. Struijk out to the left to Byram. Byram has Tanaka. Look at the space for Tanaka through the middle. Looks up, plays the ball, looks to try and get Dan James in with a run through the middle, but it's well read and cleared. And Armstrong in his own half for Bristol City is powering forward now. Gets a little clip on the heel there from Bogle, and that means a suspension for Bogle. And so Leeds will have more changes to consider in the next game against Plymouth. And it was that strong run forward from Armstrong that was only ended by a little tap on the heel.
He's still 45, 50 yards out from goal. There's other defenders around him. I can't quite see the point of clipping him there to take that yellow card.
Leeds have to defend the free kick that results as well now. The line is pretty much 10 yards outside the penalty area. Rodon misses it on the edge, but contact is too powerful for anybody to get on the end of, so it goes out and behind. It's a goal kick.
Bristol City are offering very little, are they, going forward? So got to be mindful, though. Still stay concentrated. Make sure we don't give them anything, but we need to do better with the ball.
Meslier out of the box to Rodon. And now Struijk into the middle. Rothwell again, a lot of space to operate in the centre of the park.
Oh, Gnonto was on.
He's gone wide to Bogle instead. Bogle brings the ball infield. Goes back to Tanaka. Tanaka to Rodon. Now Struijk. Now Byram. It's behind Struijk, so he's got to go and recover it before he can think about delivering the pass to Rodon. Into Tanaka. Now Rothwell. Rothwell moves up through the gears as he pushes forward for Leeds United. Out to his left to Byram. Byram trying to bring it inside, gets it back to Rothwell. Clutch of red shirts around the Leeds midfielder. Comes back out for Tanaka. Tanaka sees the runs on the far side of the box, but then Opson plays it short instead. Rothwell has it. Tanaka again. Maybe the runs will start again. Bogle's waiting on that far post in space, but Leeds opt to come short once more to the near side. Struijk. And then back it goes to Rodon. Bogle's still out wide on that right side. Leeds are moving down the left, though.
Well, we're doing well to go nowhere, to be honest. We're just going further and further away. We need a change of impetus, and I'm looking down at the subs, and we're going to get it. Solomon and Mateo Joseph are ready to come on, but at the moment, we've still got the ball, but all in front of Bristol City.
Finally, Bogle gets it. When he does, he's closed down. So it goes quickly off to Gnonto and then quickly back to Rodon. And 2 changes about to be made by Daniel Farker. First 2. Struijk puts it up over the top onto the chest of Piroe, who may be one of the 2 who's about to depart. And as the ball goes out, it will be the moment where Leeds opt to make their changes. And Piroe looks towards the halfway line to see that the number 10 is raised, so Mateo Joseph will come on to replace him. And Piroe gives a little clap towards the fans behind the goal and then jogs up towards the halfway line. And then interesting to see who the second switch will be, with Solomon waiting. And the second change will be Dan James down the right. And now Solomon on in his place.
To be replaced by number 14, Manuel Solomon.
So Gnonto goes over to the right. Solomon comes to the left.
And once again, James, just like Solomon, ease them back with X amount of minutes, not the full 90 straight away. But let's see what Solomon can do. And Joseph up top as well.
Gnonto on the ball for Leeds. Tanaka puts it up over the top. Byram is onside. He's in the penalty area. Clipped into the middle. Header from Joseph just over the crossbar. Made the run across the defender. The Leeds sub just couldn't keep the header down.
It's a great ball and run from Byram as well, who cleverly brings it down and just knocks it across for Joseph to get his head to it. But he actually defended quite well. Just did enough to put him off.
Into the final 20 minutes here at Ashton Gate. It remains Bristol City 0, Leeds United 0. O'Leary to take the goal kick for Bristol in front of the Leeds fans. Struijk with a header back into the Bristol City half. Joseph is battling. It's given away to Solomon. Leeds have plenty forward here as Solomon carries it up towards the edge of the area. Still going Solomon. And Aaronson is just outside of him. Aaronson on his right foot comes back to Rothwell. Rothwell on his left foot. Shot hits 2 Bristol City players, and then Tanaka is waiting and picks it up quickly. Oh no! Goes under the foot of Mana Solomon. Crisply struck in by Tanaka into his path. But just that little lapse there allowed the ball to run out for a goal kick.
It is, but let's just keep this momentum up. This tempo is better. Keep pushing Bristol City back. Of course, they're going to take their time, but home side offering very little. Now we have to step up.
So goal kick again. O'Leary spots the ball up just inside the 6-yard box, actually. Forward it comes. Struijk against Armstrong, wins the header against
One winner.
Struijk. Ball drops down in the midfield. Vyner has it for Bristol City. And then it's the chase for Hirakawa. He's putting a real good shift for Bristol City, but he was never getting to that one. And a few more little reserves of energy perhaps are expended there.
Well, Bristol City haven't had the ball, so Hirakawa hasn't been able to get on the ball in that last third, where certainly in the first half he caused 1 or 2 problems.
Home side have the ball now. Up it goes. Armstrong, Struijk. Struijk wins the header. Byram forced back towards his own goal. Struijk with a long clearance. Joseph will be beaten to that one in the air by Naismith. Flicked on. Rodon gets ahead to it. Now Rothwell on his chest. Just about manages to push it into the path of Pascal Struijk. Bogle at right back. Kills it forward. There's nobody there for Leeds. Joseph will go after it. Nearly did a good job of closing, but the ball is played across the back. Vyner into the midfield. Little foul by Aaronson there. Just leaned into Knight. And the free kick relieves a little bit of the pressure on the Bristol players. Now they play a long ball down the channel. Hirakawa has gone one way and Armstrong has come forward, and it means that Meslier has had to come out of his penalty area and head the ball into touch for a Bristol City throw-in.
Good positioning from Meslier. Didn't quite get into his box, so had to use his head in both senses.
Vyner back to the halfway line. Naismith. Hirakawa pops up down the left for Bristol City now, but the flag is raised for offside. He'd come back from an offside position before he picked the ball up. Leeds free kick. 15 to go, just over. Struijk to Byram. Byram back into Struijk again. Need to get rid of this, as he had Earthy on his shoulder. Goes back to Meslier, now Rodon. Back to the keeper. Leads forward to Joseph. Spins off nicely for Solomon. Solomon gets it to Aaronson. Aaronson moves it forward at pace for Leeds United. Gives it to Gnonto. Gnonto's just outside the box, into the box to Bogle. Bogle's onside, tries to cut it back into the middle, and it comes off the defender for a corner kick. Good movement there from Leeds United. Bogle got it, tried to get it back in the middle. Behind it went.
That was a lot better. Sense of urgency, piling men forward, attacking at pace. The run was a good one. Naismith had his hand up wanting offside, never was.
So Rothwell has gone to take the corner kick for Leeds. Fans watch on from behind the goal. Waiting, hoping. As the ball comes into the middle, goes over the head of Rodon. Comes out for Aaron. Aaronson on his right foot. Curls his shot, goalwards! And the goalkeeper spills it. And it comes out for Tanaka. Went forwards, not backwards. Tanaka, he tries to get his cross in, but he's sliced that one, and it's gone behind. It's a goal kick.
Just for a moment, I thought it was a backman moment. Like against Watford, it was struck straight at the keeper, and this time it came out rather than go in the goal, as it did against Watford. But once again, better, but they're taking their time out in Bristol City, making this really slow, trying to get some more oxygen into their lungs and trying to see out the game, whereas we have to push to get this winner.
2 more subs coming on for Bristol City shortly. As the goal kick comes into the Leeds half. Struijk wins it in the air. Aaronson. Vyner back into the Leeds half. Tanaka heads it on for Rothwell. Headed onto the halfway line. And then just smacked into touch by Naismith. So it will be a Leeds United throw-in. And Byram has gone to go and pick the ball up before heading back up the touchline to take the throw-in for Leeds. Movement ahead of him is limited, so he's going to go long. And saw that Joseph was making the moves, and Leeds end up with another throw-in further up the touchline. And Mayulu is going to come on for Bristol City, and Morrison also. Not yet, though. Leeds throw the ball down the line for Joseph. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't. And whilst it It bounced in and then bounced out, so Bristol City end up with a throw-in by their own corner flag. Now the substitutions are being made.
Bristol City leaving the field, number 7, Hirakawa.
So Hirakawa is off. And Mayulu is on. And then the second change, we'll see Morrison appear shortly.
Also leaving the field, number 17, Mark Sykes.
And Sykes is the man who's being replaced by the 18-year-old. Mayulu's an attacker.
To be replaced by number 31.
Another big guy as well.
Certainly is. So Armstrong and Mayulu certainly up top. And Morrison has just taken over that left back, left wing back position of Sykes.
6'4" Mayulu, so
you pick him up at corners.
Yeah, he's the one that maybe Struijk will be. Well, it's Rodon and Struijk between them who are going to have to deal with those two big guys up front in the closing stages of this game. 12 minutes to go, just under in regulation time at least. 0-0. Bristol City throw in midway inside their own half. Now the ball's in the Leeds half. Struijk with a header towards the halfway line. Rodon then as it comes back at them. Byram just puts it up in the air. Joseph will set off, but Naismith nods it to Vyner. Vyner fashions a pass to Tanner. Tanner goes over the top where there are the two new strikers waiting. The ball drops between the both of them. Rodon, though, is giving it away, but then he's giving it back. And now Mana Solomon tries to make progress down the left touchline before his run is stopped. And the ball goes out for a Bristol City throw.
Crikey, comedy of errors, wasn't it? From both sides at one point, but the two strikers for Bristol City need to play together, not on their lonesome as they just did then.
Ball comes out off Mayulu. Leeds United throw in. Sun has disappeared behind a cloud now, so the stadium pitch is in shadow. Leeds trying to bring the sun out again here, but as Byram kicks it up the line, he hits the backside of Solomon and it goes straight into touch right next to Daniel Farker. And Bristol City have another throw in. Vyner down the line. Again, it's into touch off Mayulu. The game is just being played on the near side touchline at the moment. We don't need the rest of the pitch. Suddenly,
here we go.
Open things up dramatically with the ball over to the right-hand side. An area that hasn't been occupied by anybody for some time. Bogle. Back it comes to Rodon. Square. Maybe there's a slope out towards this near side, and Byram. Byram just puts it up through the middle. There's nobody getting on the end of that one from a Leeds persuasion. Well, Leeds say it was at a back pass as the goalkeeper picks it up.
I think actually Luke McNally was a miscontrol, wasn't it?
Right into the hands of the goalkeeper, who kicks it forward now. Heads up in the Leeds half. Struijk with a header over the head of Aaronson. So Bristol City have it back briefly. Byram slips. Well, he had options to his right there, didn't he, Sam Byram? And he chose to go to his left instead, and it all went a little bit wrong as it ended up with a Bristol City throw-in. Byram on the floor. Down the line from Tanner. Struijk and Byram trying to hold the man up, and still the battle goes on. Bristol City now Solomon for Leeds. Header from the edge of the penalty area is over the head of Rothwell. Tanaka gets there instead. It's a real mess this at the moment. That surely suits Bristol City way more than it does Leeds United, and Bristol opened up at something through the middle there, and again Leeds have to stretch to win the ball back again. They need some good possession here. Byram tries again, and then he's fouled as he delivers the ball. Late challenge from Armstrong, and the referee allows them to take the free kick out of position to get the game going again. Byram's back on his feet on the other side of the pitch. Bogle has the ball. Gnonto. Now Rothwell. More like it from Leeds. This is the sort of possession they need. Bogle. Pushed to the ground. Free kick Leeds. Morrison is the culprit. Sam Byram stretching off on this near side. It's rare for Sam to be at this advanced stage of the game, still involved in the action these days, so he's doing well to continue to put in a shift. Gets the ball back to Pascal Struijk. It's a potential change there for Leeds to make, you would imagine, with 8 minutes remaining. Tanaka Again, no real availability of an option for him, so he's turned this way and that. And finally gives it short to Rodon. Eventually it comes out to Bogle. Bogle comes infield with it, and then Gnonto was waiting out, surely for a pass on the right-hand side. Leeds looking just a little bit leggy now in this
really
one.
need some options further forward. Aaronson and like to Solomon, Mateo Joseph, they've got to start facing up and looking to get the ball.
Here's Bogle. Gnonto's gone on a run. Bogle's ball is straight at Morrison. Bristol City come in to win it back on the halfway line to good effect. And then the ball is just played over the shoulder of the attacker Mayulu. Struijk gets there ahead of him. And then Struijk just flicks it into touch for a Bristol City throw in. And they're able to push up the park. And Leeds just haven't been able to get in that Bristol City half anywhere like enough in the last 5 minutes. Change is going to be made now. Bamford is going to come on for Leeds United. Throw in to defend first, with Tanner having the ball. And it goes to Knight, back to Tanner. Vyner back into his own half to Naismith. Moves the ball into the Leeds half now, given away. Now there's a chance for Leeds to counter-attack if they pick the right passes. Tanaka is the man to do that, hopefully. Tanaka short ball back to Rothwell. Some of the momentum's lost, but now they set off again with Bogle down the right-hand side. There's a line of yellow shirts ahead of him. Bogle, in it goes beyond Joseph, though. And again, the attack breaks down. It's an easy pick-up for O'Leary.
All of a sudden, all our neat, tidy passing has disappeared when we need it most.
Bogle slides in, does really well to win the ball, and then is caught late. And that will be a free kick and a potential card here for Morrison. Indeed, that's exactly what it is. As he went in hard on Bogle there, he'd spun away, and he was caught. Boos from the home fans, but I think that was fairly straightforward, wasn't
Well,
it?
it's just one of those, it's a fierce challenge. Yeah, he probably got the ball, but got way too much of Bogle as well at the same time.
So Bamford waits to come on for Leeds. The switch will be with Gnonto. So Gnonto, who was busy first half and then has maybe not seen as much of the ball in the second half. But he's the man who had the big moment for Leeds. It was Gnonto's effort that was going in before it was cleared off the line. And Gnonto departs and Bamford arrives. So will Leeds go through the middle, or is Joseph being told to go and sit in the hole?
Just having a look now with the conversation. It does look Joseph is just dropping slightly and Bamford up top, but I'm sure any time we get the ball wide, both of them need to get themselves in the box. That's where you score goals.
25-283 here today. Substantial number from Leeds United, who are watching still and still hoping. As Struijk, Byram, it's a loose ball, but it's picked up well by Tanaka, but then lost in the midfield dangerously. And Leeds have got to go in and win it. They do. With Rothwell, who's done an excellent job in there. Wins a free kick, having won the ball. Tanaka to Rothwell, and now there's space down the right suddenly for Bogle, and Bogle's able to push on up into that Bristol City half, into the penalty area to Aaronson. Aaronson trying to put it in the middle. Bamford was waiting, but it's cleared out for a throw in. The roar goes up from behind the goal. 5 to go, 0-0.
Okay, throw in. Let's just try and get it down and try and get some sort of service and delivery into the box.
Bogle just onside, trying to get his cross in. Only gets a throw in by the corner flag. Bogle stays forward. He'll take it. Thrown in to Aaronson. Aaronson comes into space to Tanaka. Tries to put it back to Aaronson in the penalty area. Morrison holds him off the ball well. When it's cleared, hesitation between the two Leeds men, and Struijk comes in and takes control.
Brilliant. Pascal's been brilliant, really has. I don't know who's been against him. He's had the better of them.
Rothwell in front of Byram now, and Byram onto Bamford. And back to Byram again on the left-hand side. Leeds go back to the halfway line to Struijk, and Byram once more. On it goes short forward to Mana Solomon. Loses out though, and then it needs Byram to come in and make a block tackle, and Leeds get the throw in.
Yep.
Daniel Farker shakes his head, frustrated, I think, with Manor Solomon there, who has a... Oh, he's slow. He didn't react quickly enough as the throw came in from Byram. So it's cleared up into the Leeds half, where only Struijk waits, and he pushes it back to Meslier. Meslier on the edge of the D. Straight ball to Rothwell. Rodon to his right. Plenty ahead of him as he's still going. Can't get it to Aaronson, and now he's out of position, and Leeds have got to get back as the ball is played through the line. It's a poor ball though, and it's easy for Meslier to get out this penalty area. Nobody in a red shirt was getting to that one, and Leeds come again.
Well, Armstrong and Mayulu look like they've never played together in their life.
I don't think they have. I'm not sure.
There you go.
Byram with the ball on this near side into Solomon. Now Joseph well out the penalty area. The one in the middle, not out here on the touchline, but Leeds do have a throw in, level with the edge of the Bristol City box. And we're inside the final 2. Solomon by the corner flag. Back it comes to Byram. And Byram almost runs into Solomon, but they've done it well between them. Solomon coming in field here. He's being marked, and he's being marked too. He has to go all the way back to the halfway line to Struijk. Tanaka to this near side to Solomon again, and get him going forward, but he comes back to Tanaka and then back to Struijk, and then forward it goes. Now Joseph's got a bit of space ahead. He's spun into the pass, though, is not what was required, and it is intercepted before it gets to Aaronson. Leeds do end up with a throw in an advanced position in the Bristol City half. Tanaka back to the halfway line now. We're into the final minute of the 90. Leeds in possession on the halfway line with Struijk. Out to this near side to Byram. Byram clips a pass into Bamford. Tries an early ball, comes out off the defender for a Leeds throw-in down by the corner flag. Byram gets the ball off Bamford gets the ball off Byram, gives it back. Now Tanaka just outside the area. Across the middle for Rothwell. Drives up the penalty area, shoots! Slices it, and it sails high into the midst of the Leeds fans behind the goal.
Good play from Rothwell. At least he was trying to be nice and positive, and his first touch was angled and forward to try and make the space for a shot, and he did, but end result wasn't quite what was required.
Board will be going up any second to tell us how long remains in this. Don't think there'll be an awful lot on it. No significant stoppages in this second period, bar for substitutions. So as it goes up now, we can confirm it'll be 3 added minutes.
There will be a minimum of 3 minutes at a time. That's 3 minutes at a time.
Tanaka to Rothwell. It's tight in there though, real tight, and there's a foul given in Leeds' favour as the boots were flying. So Struijk, they'll be in a hurry. Rothwell to Byram. Down the line for Solomon, but he's not keeping that in. And Sam Byram, he's predominantly right-footed, isn't he, Sam? So just made it difficult to angle the pass in front of Solomon. It was across him, and out it went for a throw-in.
But the last 15-20, we've not been good, in that last third. We expect a lot more. We did have chances earlier, but Bristol City really are just defending, not doing much going forward. So it's up to us to just step it up, and we haven't been able to.
Got to defend as well now because Rodon is in a battle, and then Bogle just hammers the ball forward, and it's sailed all the way up to the other end to Max O'Leary, who throws it out quickly to Morrison. Morrison stops in his own half. First minute's gone of those added time period. Forward into the Leeds half. Struijk intercepts.
Excellent
game he's had. Now Rothwell, last chance maybe for Leeds. Tanaka through the middle. Aaronson let it roll across his body, but he lost it in the process, and Morrison is herring away down the far side. Tanaka's gone with him. Got to be careful. Still with him as the cross comes in, and it's come. Well, it's sliced behind. I think Morrison just ran out of puff there, didn't he? And
great energy from Tanaka to go all that way. And like you, I thought, don't fly in to get a booking, but he didn't. Stayed on his feet. Great energy.
So Leeds with the ball, but Byram stops and says, "Come on, show me something." He's got to go down the right with Bogle, has the space in front of him. Now it arrives in front of Bogle, who's played the ball into the middle. Joseph, good take, and goes past the first challenge but loses it. And now it's Bristol City back on the ball over the halfway line. Out towards the far touchline to Armstrong. Armstrong heading back towards the halfway line, pursued by Bogle. Plays it back safely into the path of Vyner, and then it comes out to this right-hand side for Tanaka. And Bristol City are in the Leeds half, and Tanaka has it back again. And we're inside the final minute here. As Bristol City keep possession in the Leeds half, and it's nodded into touch by Rothwell. And it will be a Bristol City throw-in. And a chance for them to keep the ball in the Leeds half at the very least. So the referee sends Tanner back to take the throw-in from a position a little further up the touchline. Down the line it goes. Byram underneath it wins the header. Solomon flicks it on. Picked up by Joseph. Played into touch for a Leeds throw-in. It's now or never. And it's never, because the full-time whistle goes and the referee brings an end to a game at which Leeds United have earned another point, but will feel some frustration that, having really dominated much of it, particularly the second half, they didn't find the big moment to claim all 3 points here. So it's another clean sheet, it's another point on the road. Leeds still haven't lost away from Ellen Road this season, but just the 1 point to show for their efforts today. Full-time scoreline, it's finished here. Bristol City 0, Leeds United 0.
Well, there's no doubt we defended extremely well. That was the strength of our game today, but certainly the last 15-20, I was disappointed because we have more quality than that. We showed it in this game. We couldn't quite take those chances when they were created, but last 15-20, when the game was there to be stepped up and won, we didn't and weren't able to do that. Substitution came on, didn't really change things too much at all. Overall, I think some tired legs out there, no doubt. 0-0, okay, we take a point and move on, but I really do think this is 2 points that have slipped through our grasp.
So maybe opportunity knocked for Leeds United here, but they weren't able to take those opportunities. Had a couple of big moments in the game. Good save in the first half, one off the line in the second half. But Leeds United could not find the goal that would surely have won this game. So it finishes all square as the players go to salute the supporters, who have the journey back to West Yorkshire and all points north ahead of them now on this Saturday lunchtime. Full-time scoreline, it's finished. Bristol City 0, Leeds United 0.
Boiler's bust, I'm afraid. Needs a new PCB.
Baffle. Baffle?
Cock valve.
Yeah, I reckon I can get you about... January?
January? Found a part. Oh, they don't make it anymore.
Say goodbye to the old way to sort your boiler and say hello to Boxed. Get a new boiler installed the next day in just a few clicks and pay your way with one fixed price, upfront or monthly on all new boilers. Order now at Boxed, the smart way to buy a boiler.
Something magical is living in my house. If If I spill or make a mess, the next moment it's magically gone. I never see them, but they get everywhere. Is it fairies or mini little people? Is it you? Everything is so sparkly, sparkly. Mummy says try not to make too much mess, so we don't scare them away.
No magic, no spells, just astonish.
Escape to a land where it's no work and all play. There's no such thing as speed limits. Where wild animals roam. And around every corner is a new adventure. Where you live amongst nature and giant rabbits come and say hello. Escape to Flamingo Land. Book your day pass online at flamingoland.co.uk.
Oh, new TV.
Yeah, it's the new Hisense Mini LED.
Should have asked me what to get. We've got a 65-inch with Mini LED, but you've got to be paying at least $2,000 for that.
Actually, this one has all those features and more, and we didn't pay anything like that. Looks great, doesn't it?
So a point on the road then for Leeds United today in the lunchtime kick-off. Bridgie, I know before the game you said, most important, go there, make sure you don't lose. Get something out of the game, take it back with you.
Must not lose game. It's not easy to go to Ashton Gate. The run of form, 10 unbeaten prior to this, now 11. You can see why not many teams have gone there and got a result. Bristol City very well organised. They got their pressing absolutely spot on. And I just don't think we shifted the ball from left to right or right to left quick enough. They were easy for Bristol City just to do their shape and keep it going. And fair play to the team for having a go at Leeds United, because we had some very good opportunities early on in the half. But like I said to you, defensively, there was always a moment where Bristol City were going to get a chance. And that was the moment when I'm thinking, you know, it could have changed the whole game. And they didn't. So a point on the road is, we could look back on this game and say a point at Bristol City is a very, very valuable point come the end of the season. However, I will be saying I won't be going back to watch the 90 minutes of that game ever again, because it was a tough watch for so many reasons, because we didn't put the ball in the back of the net, we didn't use our dynamics, the substitutes that came on I said wouldn't make an impact, didn't. So there's a lot of positives to take, but there's also a lot of negatives that I look at and think where we could have done a lot better.
I'm going to have to think of a new Christmas present for you this year, because the replay of that full 4K HD was heading your way. I'll get you something else instead. You talked about the movement of the ball there, speeding it up a little bit. It's so easy. You know, fans were watching it and were like, can we pick up the pace of the play? Is that to do with the organisation of Bristol City? Is that a bit of tiredness, legginess at the end of 3 games in the space of 8 days or so? What do you attribute that to? Because this happens to all teams at all levels, depending where you play. Sometimes it just doesn't quite happen.
Credit to Bristol City for their organisation, because every time we did switch the ball, it was either one of their wing-backs was going out to make the press, or it was one of their midfielders that was going out, and they kept their shape defensively. So I have to say Bristol City were very well organised. However, the tiredness comes from players. The ball never tires. So there's no way that you cannot say that we did not shift that ball quick enough. Speed of pass from one side of the field to the other, a quick diagonal switch. They're the things that you've got to try and do when you're wanting to disjoint a back five. And just, you've got to create gaps in between the centre halves, in between the full-backs. And we did have our big, good moments when we've done that with a little pass in behind, but I don't think we turned them enough in this game. And again, we go back and analyse it, they'll be looking at it, but a very, very good away point, I would say, in the end.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have to look at these things in their individual nature and then also in their entirety. And of course, the entirety comes off the back of those 2 home wins. So it's 7 points in that 9-day period, which is a really good return on those 3 games.
Yeah, without a shadow of doubt. I think if you'd have said after the international break we were going to come away with the 7 points out of that, you would have taken it, especially when you consider there was a Sheffield United game in there. Never going to be easy, coming straight back from floodlight when the players have just got back from international duty. A great result against Watford, started the game tremendously, and then obviously going away to Ashton Gate, I said to you, a must not lose game. And yeah, I think Daniel Farke and the staff and all the players and the fans should be very happy with 7 points out of 3 games in a short period of time.
Let's take a look at some of the action then from the second half. And like you say, Bridgie, there were some opportunities, especially at the start of that second half, where you thought, right, is this going to be the moment? I mean, how good a chance is this, and how well does the defender do?
Well, I mean, if we showed the goal of last season's result when Gnonto scored with his left foot, and obviously we celebrated with a 1-0 will, that there was the moment where I think it's got to change the game. But the defending, you never give it up. And Bristol City obviously had a player on the line to clear it. And Aaronson there, I think that chance for me summed up the game. Half the Leeds fans thought it was in from the angle, he'd hit the side net, and Gnonto was the biggest chance of the game. And I look at that and think that was the moment, because I did say to you at half time, whoever gets the first goal in the second half wins this game. Neither team did. It was a nullified game, and almost, I mean, Sammy Byram here, a full-back, getting into the penalty area later on in the game. I think this was Mateo Joseph's first touch of the game, and it looks like a nothing opportunity from that angle. But when you see it from here, he'd be very disappointed that he didn't at least make the goalkeeper or hit the target, make a save.
Yeah, and Sam Byram there with the cross. How impressed were you with him today, putting in a shift there, Junior Firpo? We now know as well that, of course, Jaden Bogle's going to be out of the next game due to suspension as well. So Sam Byram's going to have a part to play in this section period of fixtures.
He's just Mr. Reliable. Doesn't matter where you play him. Credit to him, because when he signed, you never knew what you were going to get from Sam because of his injury past, but he's been absolutely professional. He's got through games when he's been counted. And I think Tony Drago alluded to it there. You don't normally see him on the field for this amount of time. He was stretching off, he was getting cramp. Just shows what he's doing for the team. I think he had a very good performance going forward, and defensively nullified everything that Bristol City threw at him. Yeah,
and when you were talking about some of the chances there, and a couple better chances than others, some of the most kind of pot shots, but that Joe Rothwell, when we were watching that in the second half, he said that's what you want to see from Leeds. In the end, the shot sells over, but is it the drive, the intensity of going forward?
Just somebody finally saying, do you know what it is, I'm going to have a go, I'm going to go myself. Everything was lethargic, it needed an injection of something. And like you say, he might not have hit the target, but at least when he got the ball there, Rothwell, he thought, I'm going to try and do something, I want to try and get the 3 points for Leeds United. And I think the finish just summed up the day that Leeds United and Bristol City have had in that game.
Yeah, these fixtures are so relentless and they come so thick and so fast, and everyone knows what you sign up to at the start of a season. It's 46 games, and it's going to be midweek, and it's going to be continuous, and it's going to be international breaks with players flying off. We know all these things. But from a physical point of view, how difficult is it for the players to be performing game in, game out, and then you throw on the fact that this is a lunchtime kickoff with a big travel amount of time thrown in there as well? How difficult is that for the players?
Well, every player wants to play every single minute of every single game, and I think what Daniel Farke did well from the Sheffield United game going into the Watford game, he kept the same lineup, because he knew that Tanaka and Rothwell playing so well together in the midfield after the disappointment of losing Guev and Ampadu. It just shown today, I think we were just lacking a little bit of maybe there should have been a few more changes given. Hindsight's a great thing. We don't get to see the statistics, the dynamics of the players' training schedule. They wear the heart rate monitor so you can see what distance they're covering, what the heart rate's doing, how they're feeling. We don't get to see that, the luxury. So obviously the players would have been ready. I'm not saying anybody was underdone, but I would just say it was a bit lethargic there today. And again, is that because of the travel? Is that because of the amount of games, or is that credit to Bristol City, the way they set up and tried? Because there was only 2 games last season I remember watching for Leeds United where I thought we had no idea how to get the ball in the opposition net, and we didn't. It's the only time we had like XG of 0.3 or something. Haven't been the best throughout the season. That was against Sunderland, home and away. Sunderland found a way to nullify everything Leeds had, and Liam Mann and his team today found exactly the same.
Yeah, in terms of this unbeaten run now, that stretches to 7 for Leeds United. Yeah. We had that massive unbeaten stretch last season. We know how important it is. We spoke to Joe Rodon after the game against Sheffield United. We talked about this is just starting to build and just starting to roll. Extending that, going undefeated is a good thing to do.
Of course it is, yeah. like you say, when you're coming up against a team that are unbeaten at home in 10 matches, it's a tough thing to go and do, let alone. But then it continues our trend and our rich vein of form, like you were saying. It's an away point, an away win. It's, like I say, it's not the glitz and glamour tie that I want to look back and watch again, because there was only... I'd watch the highlights because we had some very good moments, but when you're looking at that game, at the end of the season, that point is very, very valuable. 23
points from 12 games is now what it looks like. Yeah. You want to be tracking about 2 points a game, don't you, if you want to be up there? I mean, last season was a bit exceptional with the teams. We were tracking very nicely.
If we replicate that, Rich, we are going up, believe you me.
But 23 from 12 is in and amongst the area that we want to be at this stage of the season.
Yeah, and I think that's what, I mean, I don't know how Daniel Farker does it, but when I'm coaching Australia, I put a block of like 6 games together and then another block of 6 games, and you always try and give the players and your staff an incentive or an idea of where the points are going to go. And like you say, that is the target that you are looking to reach and generate, and we're on track. If that's what Daniel Farker is in the team are all about, we're on track.
A special word for the Leeds United fans who made that journey today. It's an early start to head down there. Lots of people on the 7 o'clock trains.
Every single one of them.
Heading down to Ashton Gate in the sunshine. I don't think half of them could see anything because of the sunshine. They're all sort of like looking like this when they were watching it. But
so, Rich, off the back of that, another disappointing thing. When you see all the away fans and the behind the goal giving it one of these because of the sun, the goalkeeper in the second half of Bristol City, he had that sun blazing. He didn't have a cap on. I just don't think we also tested him enough from longer range shots or thing, because you do not, it's hard to see the ball. And I think there was only one shot where Aaronson and he couldn't catch it. He's give it the parry. That just shows. So I think that's another thing that we can learn. Use the conditions to your advantage.
Yeah, and those fans who made that journey, it's up and down the country. It's absolutely fantastic. And you know what it's like firsthand as a player to feel that support in an away end when you're going all around the country for Leeds United. It must just give that boost.
I know how hard it is as a player to travel home and away to games, and the commitments you've got to make as a player. I know you're training every single day, but for a fan to be able to go and pay the money and to travel home and away, this is why, I'm blessed. I've played the game. I've played at Ellen Road. I've played for Leeds United. We're blessed. And to be able to play in front of... why do we do it? We do it for the fans. And that is the whole... I know, during COVID, it was a horrendous time. I saw a dip in form from a lot of players around the world because there was no fans there. Special moment. And obviously for the travelling fans that have gone to Bristol, fair play to you, and to everybody out there, thank you very much.
Yeah, well, the sun was definitely shining down in Bristol for that walk back to the train station and journey back for a lot of those fans at the moment. We're hoping to get some reaction from the manager, Daniel Farker, as soon as he is available. Hopefully we'll be able to bring that to you here on Match Day Live. Just looking at the run of fixtures, and when you look at those 12 games that we've played so far, the bulk of those games have been against teams in the top half of the league. We've actually played in those 12, collected those 23 points, a lot of the teams who started the season well, which kind of bodes well for where we're at, that we've taken points against those teams.
What happened last season? Beat Ipswich home and away, beat Norwich 3 times, I think it was, home and away, and then the playoffs as well. Beat Leicester 2 times. The team we didn't beat was Southampton. They did us in the final. We slipped up last season against, I think it was Rotherham as well. I think it was over the Christmas period. This league, you just never know what you're going to get, but we're a good start. If you'd have said that from the back end of last season, what I admire about this group of players in the staff, we're not feeling the hangover or feeling sorry for ourselves from the playoff defeat. Everybody switched on. Daniel Farker's kept the players all together on the same page with the staff to say, we've got to go again. We've got to replicate how good we were last season for the points tally, and that's a tough thing to do without feeling sorry for yourself. So fair play to the players. Like I say, we're on the right track.
Because when you look at the fixtures, and it's a dangerous thing to do, but presumably, the staff, the coaching staff, you look at it in chunks of games, don't you?
Yeah.
And what's achievable and what you're going to get out of those. And you do look at the next ones at Plymouth at home. They're in 21st at the moment, as things stand at the moment.
Can I just make a point on that
one?
Go
for it.
Wayne Rooney. Last time he was here, it was his last game for Birmingham City. It cost him his job. He's coming here for redemption against Plymouth. They've had some good results on him. They've had some thrashings under him. I'm hoping that he comes here again and all the fans give him so much stick once again and we thrash them. There you go.
Well, there you go. That's your early prediction for that one. But yeah, Plymouth 21st, and it's Millwall away. They're in 14th. Never an easy game. QPR at home. They're in 23rd at the moment. So there is, when you look at the block of games, an opportunity against teams that aren't performing as well.
Yeah, when again backing up and down the country, you know. So Plymouth have got a hell of a travel coming up here. It's always a long slog for them. Bit of pressure. Obviously, the Wayne Rooney circus follows him everywhere he goes. Millwall never easy. Doesn't matter where they are in the division. And QPR, the shock for me this season of where they actually are. I would never have called that. So at some point they're going to have to start fighting for their lives, and they're going to start to try and put some results together. And that's again this division. You never know what you're going to throw. You've got to go into everything planned, prepared, and ready. And we've had the perfect start to this season. I would say, like you say, points tally, fighting for the top couple of spots. Happy days.
Yeah, well, like I say, we are expecting Daniel Farker in just a moment heading to us to give us some reaction here on Matchday Live from Ashton Gate, where it has been Bristol City 0, Leeds United 0, but another important point on the way as we head into, it's just the run of games that just gets busier and busier. And in fact, we can see on our screen Daniel Farker getting prepped and ready to go. What do you think he'll be thinking after this match?
I think, well, he always gives a great answer. He always gives a lot of answers in his questions. So I'm sure he's an honest man. He'll give I don't think he'll have enjoyed the game, but I think he's going to come out and say a very valuable point.
Yeah, well, let's see if he's agreeing with that. Give us a moment and we'll get you straight there at the moment. Just no, he's not quite ready yet, Bridgie. He's not quite ready yet, Daniel Farker, but hopefully to get his thoughts. But managing everyone through the games as they come and the injuries we've got at the moment, it can't be that easy to sort of have to work out who's going to play where and
no. And I think that's what I admire so much nowadays is when I see the Leeds United team, I see the Leeds United team behind the team, and that is Daniel Farker and his staff. And the job that they've got to do, like you say, to wrap players in cotton wool, to make sure everybody's mentally focused, make sure everybody's physically focused. There's a lot goes in to the preparation of this football club, which is behind Daniel Farker. So the boss gets all the pressure, the boss gets all the accolades. The boss is a selfless boss, so he gives it back to the players and everything. But behind the manager of this football club at this moment in time, there is an incredible team supporting this man to get the best and maximise the footballers. And Daniel Farker will be the first man to credit them to say, yeah, it's not a one-man band. There's a lot goes into this football club.
Yeah, and certainly the important thing now is that there is a little bit of a break between that next game, so there is a chance for some recovery between now and then.
And I think after the international break, the 3 games, 7 points on the board, that's what the boss will also be delighted with. They've got a good gap.
Okay, Daniel Farker's not quite ready to speak to us, so what we'll do is we'll put all the post-match reaction, as you would always expect, on the Leeds United website. It'll be up on YouTube and, of course, on the Leeds United app. But for now, Bridgie, thank you very much for your company
today.
Thank
you, Rich. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's not going down in the classic territory today's game.
No,
but,
definitely not. The point is, but the match itself, I'll not be watching it back.
Probably not. Okay, 7 undefeated now for Leeds, 7 points in the last week or so. Leeds United up to 2nd in the table, and that unbeaten stretch goes on to 7 games now ahead of Plymouth next week. We'll have all the action, of course, for you